A deep narrative probably isn't the first thing that comes to mind when thinking about Ninja Gaiden. The original NES series has always been pretty straightforward at first glance, but there's a pretty involved globe-spanning adventure with mysterious ruins, demon statues, the CIA, and more spanning across 3 games. Since it's building off Team Ninja's own Dead or Alive, which possesses its own extensive and sometimes confusing lore, Ninja Gaiden offered quite a bit when shining the spotlight on Ryu Hayabusa. As a prequel to the NES series, events in Ninja Gaiden began long before Ryu's birth. Vigor, who reveled in chaos and strife, split Gerdu into multiple pieces. The serpent emerged from one of these and created the seeds, which would eventually bloom into the dragons. 13 in number, they ultimately battled and defeated Vigor, but despite their cooperation, the dragons weren't the most unified. One dragon in particular was the weakest, and Vigor, sensing an opportunity, manipulated and corrupted it. With the Age of Chaos over, humanity thrived alongside the other dragons, and life was good. However, everything changed when the Dark Dragon finally emerged. The youngest of the 13 had become more powerful than all of his siblings combined, and easily overwhelmed them. Vigor basked in the victory and established his empire, and it seemed like no one could oppose the Dark Dragon. That is, until a single human emerged, wielding a powerful weapon, the Dragon Sword. After being defeated by their siblings and with nothing, the remaining 12 dragons took one of their fangs and poured all their power to fashion the weapon, which humanity's strongest would wield. The warrior defeated the beast, but its influence would linger in 2 ways: the Dark Dragon Stones and the Dark Dragon Blade. The former is a subject of another tale. It's the latter that's the crux of Ninja Gaiden 1's story. Created from the Dark Dragon's bones, indestructible and possessing immense power owing to the dragon's soul seemingly being contained within, the blade could prove dangerous in the wrong hands. Fortunately, the descendants of the warrior who slew the Dark Dragon would pass down the Dragon Sword through the ages, with the Hayabusa clan being the most recent. Somehow, they retrieved the Dark Dragon Blade and managed to seal it while keeping it hidden from any greedy eyes. Or so they thought. Present-day events begin with Ryu Hayabusa, the successor of the dragon lineage, training in the Shadow Clan fortress with Murai, the clan leader, and his uncle. This serves as a tutorial to introduce players to the world of Ninja Gaiden and Ryu's skill. But it's not long before Ayane, also from Dead or Alive, reveals that the village is under attack. Led by Doku, a greater fiend, these mysterious forces were sent by the Emperor, who commands the same empire established by Vigor, to retrieve the Dark Dragon Blade. Doku spared no one in the carnage, even cutting down Kuriha, the Miko and childhood friend of Ryu, when she tried to stop him. After dealing with his troops and General Masakado, Ryu arrives and faces Doku in a losing battle. While he's seemingly left for dead, a falcon, the spirit animal of the Hayabusa, appears to retrieve him. Cut to a few weeks and some healing later, and Ryu is officially ready to wreak havoc and take revenge for Kuriha. Murai reveals that the Vigor Empire is responsible for the attack. Crash landing in Tairan, the Empire's capital, via airship after battling General Dynamo and his special forces, Ryu encounters Rachel, a Vigorian who hunts fiends with a warhammer. Though not initially trusting of him, it's revealed that she's afflicted with a curse that will eventually turn her into a fiend. It's already claimed Alma, her twin sister, thanks to Doku, and Rachel is currently on a quest to defeat her. The Black Spider clan, which opposes the Hayabusa clan, is also present and seeks the Dark Dragon Blade for their own purposes. Fiends also begin to manifest more frequently due to the blade. After fighting the Vigorian military, Ryu eventually goes up against Alma and defeats her after an intense fight. Unfortunately, Rachel is taken hostage by Doku to sacrifice her and awaken Alma's true power. latter meets Ryu once again at the Coliseum and they battle once more, but this time, the Dragon Ninja emerges victorious. Doku reveals that the Dark Dragon Blade is with the Emperor, but despite dying, he becomes a spirit. Despite being rescued, Rachel attempts to pursue Doku's spirit but is defeated by Ishitaros and Nikche and captured again. Meanwhile, Ryu continues his journey and is told by Muramosa, the famous weaponsmith turned vendor, that a special jewel is required to awaken the Dragon Blade to its full power. At one point, Ryu returns to Hayabusa village, where he obtains the Eye of the Dragon from Kureha's grave. It ends up empowering the Dragon Sword, turning it into the true Dragon Sword. And not a moment too soon, because the Emperor has unsealed the Dark Dragon Blade and claimed its power. Ryu rushes to stop him and battles Alma once again, defeating her once more. Meanwhile, Doku is ready to kill Rachel, but the latter is saved through a surprising sacrifice by Alma, who subsequently dies. Leaving Rachel with her sister, Ryu ventures forth to hunt Vigor. Descending into the Zakron Labyrinth, he fights Doku's spirit and defeats him, but is then cursed, becoming a fiend in the process. Despite the corruption, Ryu retains control of his senses and makes his way to the Emperor's palace, not just to reclaim the Dark Dragon Blade, but to clean himself of the curse. After defeating the third and final greater fiend, Marbus, the battle against the Emperor begins in a reality-defying battlefield. Ryu defeats him twice, cleansing himself of the curse and retrieving the Dark Dragon Blade. Rachel catches up and helps him escape, but in the process, he loses the blade. It's worth noting that throughout this adventure, a member of the Empire's Eternal Affairs Bureau, Gamov, would tail and run into both Ryu and Rachel. He's also in league with the mysterious Dark Disciple, working to obtain the Dark Dragon Blade. The Disciple kills Gamov at the end, claims the blade, and reveals himself to be none other than Murai. As it turns out, he conspired with the Emperor, leaking the location of the blade and even luring Ryu away while Hayabusa village was attacked. Ryu's destruction of the Vigorian forces has fueled the Dark Dragon Blade, which was also part of Murai's plan. Despite harnessing its full power, however, he's defeated by Ryu and the true Dragon Sword. With the Dark Dragon Blade shattered, with the blade's threat gone, and having fulfilled his destiny as a Dragon Ninja, Ryu takes the obvious next step, returning to Hayabusa village and revisiting Kureha's grave. Removing the Eye of the Dragon, he effectively returns it to her and leaves. Even with a few cliches, including Murai's betrayal, Ninja Gaiden still offers a pretty compelling story with strong characters and extensive stakes. The brutality is a core part of the combat, but I like how it's framed as feeding into the Dark Dragon Blade, with Ryu's hunger for revenge and wanton slaughter having some real consequences. Nevertheless, it's also a tale of redemption, with Alma regaining her senses, if only for a moment, to save her sister. With Ninja Gaiden 1 serving as a success, both critically and commercially, a sequel pretty much seemed a given. Fortunately, the tale of Ryu Hayabusa would continue in Ninja Gaiden 2. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.